So on today's episode, I'm super excited to show you the world's most powerful diesel BMW. It's got a triple turbo setup on it, and it's running a 300 shot of nitrous. So let's talk to the owner and find out more about it.
Hey, I'm Santjer with Santjer Performance. This is my 2010 335D, and you're watching East Coast Garage.
Why did you decide to build a diesel BMW in the first place?
I guess back in 2016 timeframe, I was definitely more heavily focused in the diesel truck realm, particularly with the Cummins diesel stuff. I always knew that these existed, and the more I looked into them, the more I kind of realized that they're kind of like a miniature Cummins with an aluminum block and half the displacement. So right away, I saw a lot of potential with them, knowing what we'd been able to do with the Cummins platform. This was the very first one I had ever purchased, and I think I have like 13 different diesel BMWs at the moment. But this is the OG. The build just slowly progressed over the years, started incorporating it more into the business as far as more and more BMW parts and less truck-related stuff.
I really like just the overall cleanliness of it, and how, you know, your intake manifold, the CP3 pump, and your intake. It's just enough to really tell from a glance that, you know, it's modified, but at the same time, it doesn't look like a 1,000+ horsepower car. Yeah. Which is cool because it's another, you know, sleeper flex.
From the top, I mean, you don't see the third turbo. I mean, you see a filter, an intake pipe.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the second fuel pump.
Right.
May or may not even know if that is a second one. So yeah, I mean, compared to some of your wild builds with big single turbos sitting up top, sticking through the hood and different kinds of shit. I mean,
you can't even tell that it's a triple turbo from here.
No, you couldn't see that turbo right now if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you'd have to. It's down pretty deep. It took many motors and many years to really get them figured out. I mean, in this particular car, running 1,100 horsepower plus
wow.
For I don't know, the past year and a half or so. I mean, wow. We've made probably I think 60 something passes in the high 5 range, 8th mile. I think the best being 580s at like 127 mile an hour. It should be 870s or so, quarter mile at the moment. I mean, it's a heavy full weight street car, but I mean, it weighs 3,900 pounds right now with me in it.
Is that the factory intake manifold?
No, that's it's an aftermarket one.
Okay.
Factory ones are plastic, and honestly, they do really well in most cases. You can make 60, 70 pounds of boost on the factory and manifold. For drag racing, most of the time it's fine, but you could go get it heat soaked on a road course event.
Right.
And it pop at 45 PSI.
For me, as a gearhead, if I walked up to this, honestly, the first thing I would look at is how thick this intercooler is. The intercooler on this thing looks like it belongs on the front of a Power Stroke. It's massive.
This one is a big one. Yeah, this is it's the biggest core that Garrett makes. It's like a 1,200 and something, rated like 1,200 and something horsepower.
Yeah.
So basically, I started with that, built my own end tanks.
I assume this is the third turbo is in compound with the other two, correct?
So you got the factory bi-turbo setup, which is a small high-pressure turbo, and then a larger low-pressure turbo. Mm-hmm. And they are not really in compound in factory configuration. There's a turbine bypass valve and a compressor bypass valve, and they open up to bypass the small turbo, typically around 3,000 RPM. And then above that, you're basically running on like a single turbo in the stock configuration. And the small one is not a restriction because both turbos come off of the manifold. They're not in compound with each other.
Right.
So the third turbo is in compound with the larger of the two factory turbos.
Gotcha.
So it is different than the typical triple turbo configuration at least in the truck world and stuff, would be 2 atmospheric turbos and then 1 primary on the manifold. So it does differ from that in that aspect.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but it runs really well. I mean, you still maintain great drivability because you have that itty bitty stock turbo.
Right.
That isn't a restriction at the top end. So you always have super fast spool up and all the benefits of it, but not really any issues. So, I mean, I could go to like your normal compound setup, might be able to clean things up, have a little more room for different configurations, but it would almost certainly lose drivability.
And how much boost are you cooling through that intercooler?
I'm typically running around 70 pounds of boost.
Wow.
And so I'm making around 800 horsepower fuel only, and a little over 1100 with nitrous, and like 1300 foot-pounds, a little over that.
Wow. So yeah, nitrous, I mean, because why not? You're going to run that much boost. I mean, give it 300 a shot of happy gas, huh?
Yeah, I mean, diesels in general, they absolutely love nitrous.
Yeah.
I still, unfortunately, see people talking about water meth and like terrible. I mean, that was kind of a thing like 15 years ago. People trying to get a little more power out of something when they're out of fuel. But nitrous is far safer, much better way to make more power. It's not even the same. Water meth's a fuel source, and
right.
Nitrous isn't.
I love the wheels and tire combo on this is very nasty. It's just, I look at the exhaust, wheels, and the front mount and be like, this car is pretty cool. Still don't think that if you told me that it made over 1,300 foot-pounds of torque at the tire, that I would have picked up on that initially. I'm just curious, and for the viewers, what is the weakest link for a diesel BMW build?
So first of all, I guess a reliable power level for anybody to do with bolt-on parts is probably around the 500 horsepower range. Once you start getting into like the 600 horsepower range, you're on the edge of rods and pistons holding up. Some do, some don't. I mean, I've ran 7, 8, 900 horsepower before with stock pistons for like a dyno pass or so, and it held, but then didn't on an 1/8 mile pass or something. Like
right.
It's very hit or miss. So yeah, I mean, that's really your first like major limiting factor. The transmissions, even in stock form, even the factory 6 speeds, hold up really well.
What transmission do you have in this build?
Currently, it's a 8 HP 70. So it's this particular one came from a diesel N57. So the newer generation diesels, diesel BMW, and it's just got more ideal belt housing and a more ideal torque converter to start with for most of these applications. So that's usually the one that people go to. I mean, you can get them from, I don't know, various other applications that run the ZF 8 HP 70s and 75s, but that's the typical one that you use in a swap, and like an E90 like this.
The swap itself is pretty easy. Yeah,
I mean, it's more or less bolt-on stuff. Depending on the route you go, as far as the controller, you can either do CAN TCU offers a setup that kind of integrates and uses the factory TCM in the trans, allows it to communicate with the ECM. Or like what I'm running is a standalone turbo-lamic setup. The TCM is in the transmission on the mechatronics unit. You do have to cut it open, do some soldering, and then you're running an external standalone controller, like I have mine in my glove box. It allows for me to have more control overall, more tuning control, and a trans brake, which is the big thing for me.
Yep. What I like about this car is it's the most powerful diesel BMW 335D at least, but it's still comfortable and you have all the BMW stuff, you know. It's quiet and it rides good. You can take the family out in it, you know, and you still have all of the options, you know. You didn't have to gut it out to achieve those numbers and have fun. I think that's probably the coolest part, because typically when you get into the realm of this kind of build, you're in a race car with a roll cage and it's rowdy and it beats you up when you go down the road and stuff like that. And it takes away from a little bit of the experience and makes this more of a sleeper, honestly, because, you know, there just isn't a whole lot done to the outside. You don't see a roll cage. You see a massive front mount, okay, but that doesn't mean something's fast necessarily.
I've gone back and forth over time whether or not I was going to gut it. I mean, it could certainly go a lot faster. I mean, if I cut 1,000 pounds out of it and gutted it, to me, that it takes away a lot of the fun aspect of it. I like driving on the street and having a fast street car.
Golly. I can feel my face getting like, my cheeks were like, yeah, and if you have a diesel BMW and you're looking for some performance parts, definitely go check out SantjerPerformance.com. Also, where can people find you on social media?
On Facebook and Instagram under Santjer Performance.
Definitely go check him out. He does some pretty awesome content. It's super awesome riding in a high horsepower diesel Beamer. These things just hit so much differently because of just the way the torque comes online just instantly. It's just complete different feeling. It isn't like any other 1,000 horsepower build really out there. So thanks for giving us a ride and telling us all about the car, man.
Yeah, man.
It's been awesome.
Appreciate you having me on here, and been a good time.
Yeah, and thank you all for checking out this video, and we'll see you next time. Yo, thanks again to Matt at Santjer Performance for making this happen. Here's a look at the fastest Dragy 60 to 130 at 4.22 seconds. That's crazy. That was on the track with a full 300 shot. And what's really crazy is the car is only going to get faster. And if you like this car, you'll probably enjoy the video of the fastest CTS-V Gen 3 in the world, still rocking the factory blower, and this wild Nash Metropolitan with a 1,000 horsepower big block. Thanks again for checking out this video, and we'll see you there.